Hey, no kings, what's up? It's the Culture Detective here investigating your favorite albums, and today I'm going to be doing an album review on the new betcover album, Yuki, or in Japanese it's Yuki, which means courage, bravery. So, Japanese art rock band betcover is back with a new album, and even though they have been making consistently amazing music for the last few years, I feel like no one is talking about them. I don't know why. I think I found out about them on Rate Your Music maybe about 3 or 4 years ago when they released Jikan, which I thought was a really solid album. There were some legitimately great tracks on that thing, but the album that really blew my mind was Tamago, or Egg, which received a 9 out of 10 from me in the year 2023. Even though the album was released late 2022, there's a stray piece of hair over here. Even though Tamago is released in late 2022, I included it as I believe, my number 3 favorite album of 2023. It was just an amazing art rock album where the band goes from genre to genre to genre on every single track, ranging from something akin to hardcore punk to something jazzier to ballads to tracks that are way more experimental and jumpy. Every single track is different, yet they all coalesce into this really thoughtful, catchy, beautiful, and sometimes even dreamy art rock album. It's truly fantastic stuff. Please go listen to it. Not too long later in the same year, in 2023, they released Uma, or Horse, which is way shorter, but it's still packed with tons of amazing songs. So obviously, Betcover is a band that I've been on the lookout for a very long time. Now, the band has taken a 1 year hiatus last year, including a minor controversy with the band frontman Yanase Jiro, I believe, which I am not completely familiar with what happened. All I know is that some kind of controversy happened. But, anyways, they are back with a brand new album, and also this time they have the help of musician, mixer, producer Jim O'Rourke, who is an avant garde and jazz musician who had collaborated with bands such as Sonic Youth. So, oh my god, what's happening? So, Yuki, their new album, has a much more skimmed track list at only 7 tracks long, and 3 of the tracks here are over 7 minutes long. So this is a small track list, and genre-wise, it's also a lot different. It's jazzy. So this time around, Betcover really dabbled into jazz. And this isn't their first rodeo. It's not like they've never tried jazz before. They did that off of Tamago. But this album is so much more specified, especially the first half in jazz and improv. It's less tight and insane and more loose, and it's just a very interesting change of pace for Betcover. Now we have the album opener Wasureru Onna, which means forgetful woman, and right off the bat we have reverby guitars, punk-ish bass lick, idle pianos, and they're all doing their own thing, but they all somehow stack on top of each other in a very jazzy and maybe even a little uneasy way. Lyrically, I think the band, or Yana Seijiro, is singing about the girl on the album cover, sort of having a short hair, and basically survives and lives out her daily life by literally having an amnesia, or at least forgetting her sadness. We have these group vocals at the end, these group refrains, you are a good friend, you are a good friend, which again can lead towards a lot of interpretations, but I think subject matter wise, Betcover is tapping into something interesting again. The next track, Miko's Concert, has a much more harmonic instrumentation with swinging grooves, just a set of drums, pianos, horns, and they all come together in a very snappy way. Go Go Steam. Yes, that is the name of the track. Go Go Steam has some speedy bass and messy horns that reminds me of Jordy Griep, and that's amazing. I mean, it's no surprise that Jordy Griep would be something that I could immediately think of, but it's the guitar tones. They sound like a bouncy coil, and I don't know why. I feel like I've heard this kind of guitar tone before on a Tropical Fuckstorm album. It's been a while, but I kind of recall that. And the scratchy guitars and bass, they all sound really frantic. And lyrically, it's about a teenager who brings a watermelon that is about to blow up on a train. And it's about being an angsty teenager, I guess. Then we have the track Summerland, which is a 7-minute slow burn. And I think it is at this point when the album starts dipping down, unfortunately. And it's not that I don't like slow burns. I think Betcover has a lot of amazing slow burns in their previous albums, but Betcover's slow burns usually feel earned. They usually come after a cathartic moment or there's something really magical with the instrumentation. This track, however, just feels very mopey and one note, where Jiro's vocals are mostly soft crooning over some simple guitars. But then afterwards, we are smashed in the face with one of the wildest tracks on the entire album, Yaen, or Wild Monkeys, where it starts off with spoken word over pianos, and then it just suddenly bursts into this off-kilter insanity with marching pianos and drums and crazy lyrics that go all over the place, from monkeys to bridges to TV show characters to sleep deprivation. And then we hit the final leg of the album where, unfortunately, I did not vibe with all that much. We have Stay With Me, which is literally the name of the track in katakana spelled out. But no, it's not a cover of the legendary Matsubara Miki song. It's a 2.5 minute long stripped back piano ballad that I cannot really say I remember much because it's a little forgettable. Then the album ender is a 7-minute long ballad called Ginga Golden Boy, or Galaxy Golden Boy, and it's a much more clear and spacey track. Revelating bright guitars and clarinet solos. I know it's a tired comparison whenever I hear jazz and rock together, but this really does give off BCNR, especially Ants from Up There. But I'm just not too big on the track. Maybe it's the vocals being a little bit too one note. Maybe it's the instrumentals not being as bold or as audacious as I am used to for Betcover's music, but I just thought the album ending is a little weak. But still, I think a bulk of the music on the album is really strong, and especially the first half, and I still think it's better than a lot of other art rock contemporaries. Is it their best album? Not by a long shot, but I still enjoyed quite a bit. I'm giving the new Betcover album a light to decent 8. So, have you listened to this album? Comments below, let me know if I got you one more. Thanks for watching.